It's a trauma bond.
Vancouver, British Columbia, the epicenter of Canada's overdose epidemic and where drug addicts come to die.
I can buy my fentanyl right off my doctor.
Man, I've been smoking crack all day. It's not
I hear you.
It's the drug user.
We've gone so far as to provide drugs to people from a vending machine.
In January 2023,
That's
British
crazy.
Columbia became the first and only province in Canada to decriminalize small amounts of hard drugs.
That's decriminalizing of hard drugs is nuts to me, chat.
All drugs are good
This is
balance. God made all drugs.
In an effort to destigmatize drug use, reduce criminal prosecution,
Destigmatize drug use, chat. I was addicted to hard drugs. I went to rehab. I never felt sorry for a drug user. I never expected anyone to feel sorry for me. There's no need to destigmatize drug users and drug abusers. For sure, stigmatize them. That's like saying let's destigmatize pedophilia. Fuck no, chat. That shit is terrible. It causes people to murder, it causes people to rape people, it causes people to steal, it causes people to die, it breaks apart families, ruins everything. You can't tell me one positive to society of hard drugs. Not a single one.
encourage drug users to seek out medical help.
I mean, these people are insane. They have no life to begin with. Oh, wow. And it's done in the open.
1 year into the experiment, though, BC drug overdose deaths reached record highs.
Like, bro, I was a grown-ass man, and I had no money at one point. I would sit inside all day. I would do drugs. It was cringe and embarrassing to, like, run away from my problems. And I never once was like, oh, poor me, poor me. I was like, bro, I'm a piece of shit. Like, I put this above my family, above my own well-being, above my society, above everything. Like, it is the most selfish thing you can do. And is it hard to quit? Yes, bro. I went through withdrawals. I tried multiple times. But, bro, if you're a good person and there's the resources that say, hey, this is bad, let's get you off these drugs, and they arrest you and they give you that detox and give you those sentences, then you're going to get clean. But if they enable you, you will not get clean. And that was a big problem with me, bro. I was with somebody that also did drugs, and they were a big enabler for me when I tried to quit multiple times.
Highs, with 7 people dying every day, prompting the government to recriminalize the use and possession of drugs in public in April 2024. But was Canada's decriminalization experiment a complete failure, or was it just missing a few other critical pieces in this puzzle of solving addiction?
It's hot.
Pulled up to downtown East Hastings.
You got away from that? Me too, bro. Me too. I looked at myself and I said, am I going to continue to feel sorry for myself and say, this is just me, this is just an addiction, this is just who I am, it's just my life? No, bro. Or a big part of it, yeah, you got to put yourself around the right people. And if you're living in a city where it's decriminalized and everybody walking down the block is smoking a crack rot and some fent, you're not going to get clean. You're not going to want to get clean.
Things at night to see if people were still using drugs in public and what the solution to this epidemic might be. And with bongs and shiesties available on every corner store, I was curious what some of the business owners
I mean, that's just New York, bro. You get a bong and shiesty anywhere in New York.
in East Hastings thought about
Addiction
the
right now. Listen, bro, I struggled with addiction all the way up to about 6 or 7 months ago in Las Vegas. I had broke my addiction down to only smoking weed, but I was chain smoking weed. I'd smoke 3 or 4 or 5 blunts a day, 5 or 6 joints per day. I was hitting the bong, I was smoking a dab pen, and it was insane. I went to Vegas, and I took a blunt from a stranger who my friends knew, and it was laced with fentanyl, and I had an overdose reaction to it. And I lost my mind. I went crazy. A lot of you guys, you know, like, I know Turk was one of them that was involved in helping me. I had a private call with my community, my inner circle, and I was like, guys, I need you right now. And I almost ran back home from Vegas and gave up, but I was like, no. And I got sober in Las Vegas. Most people go to Las Vegas and they pick up addiction. I broke addiction in Las Vegas because I saw what it does to people in Las Vegas. I see what the land of plenty does. I see what it's trying to take from me. I see what life and time is trying to take from me. And bro, listen, when you get older and you're 60, 70 years old looking back in your life, nobody says, damn, I wish I did more drugs. I wish I didn't remember more of my life. They wish they had more life, less drugs. And you don't want to be that old person sitting back regretting it, chat. I promise you. I promise you. It takes one step every single day. You make 1% progress, you'll get there. You'll get there, I swear to God. But you just got to believe in yourself. You got to want it for yourself. And I know, getting high is so fun. Smoking weed and just chilling out, watching anime and video games. That shit is affecting your mental. It's okay to smoke marijuana and drink from time to time. I'm not saying you got to go completely sober and fuck it all. But there's so much more to life. There's so much more you can build on yourself. 32 and recovering, and it's never too late to recover. There's not a single age where it's too late to recover.
Alright, Now I want to welcome you to Paraphernalia Bazaar. We got shiesties, we got bongs, we got it all. Infinite drug paraphernalia to use drugs. Do a lot of people come in here and buy a bong for like meth, fentanyl, that sort of?
Okay, I'm gonna tell Tyler this right now. Tyler, bro, you're tripping if you don't think this is yes in America. I see this. I see bongs for sale in Utah. Bongs are not illegal, cause like you can smoke tobacco out of them. So are pipes, crack pipes, everything. Like it's illegal. Like Tyler's straight tweaking. He's like, they're selling bongs and shiesties. You can get drugs and get high easily here, cause there's bong and shiesties. Bro, those are everywhere.
Sort of thing.
You can get that shit from the gas station in America.
Most probably. How is it safe out here as a business owner and employee?
Not that much safe,
Okay.
but the thing is, if you are good to these people, they are good to you as well.
Yo, how you doing? Do you get boosted often?
Yes.
Did you have to put that door in so people stole less?
Yes, the boss put that in.
Okay.
For safety.
And is that a new phenomenon, or is that
That's
new? When?
Oh, past couple years.
Okay. Do a lot of drug users come in here, buy a bong, smoke some fentanyl in it?
I have no idea.
Okay, heard. Do we got
Me
gangsters
too.
coming in here buying shiesties?
Alright. Not trying to shit on you guys up in Canada, but I don't know about those Vancouver gangs. You gotta watch out for them, chat, and their shiesties. Yeah, those scary Canadian gangs, they might run you for all your maple syrup.
And look at this. We're gonna expose them. We got thief, 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 thief. Question for you guys. Do you guys get boosted from people often?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. Do you see it end up right on the streets afterwards?
No, but they take and run, that's what happens.
Okay. Or do the police do anything right now?
They try to help, but
Yeah.
always a little bit late, but they
Okay.
try to help us too, yeah.
Is it like a daily occurrence, would you say?
So, once in a while, for sure.
Year two.
It all depends on their activities.
Just stabbing you incorrectly. Listen, America, bro, there's no chance for apologies, because, you know, you only survive, like, you know, a Mac 11 or an automatic 9mm with a switch on it. Is the ain't much better. Was a real crisis. Have you guys ever heard of the Great Maple Syrup Heist in Canada? Basically, Canada's market almost crashed one time because someone stole so much maple syrup in Canada. Isn't that insane?
Drugs, they don't
It's
know what to do,
true.
that's what happens.
Has it gotten better or worse the last 4 or 5 years?
It's getting worse now.
Once again, it is quite easy to get some drug paraphernalia. And of course, you got the food desert items right here. You got 3 cereal boxes for $15. Knives, only $25. All hats, only $25. Spend $50 on a bong and torch. Get free butane. 3 butane for only $10. How is it running a shop out here? Is it getting a little shicey
True.
sometimes or no?
It is.
It can get crazy?
Yeah.
Are these here to prevent like a robbery or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get boosted from often?
Yeah.
Yeah. This place is looking pretty dilapidated right now. More bongs. More bongs. Bongs, 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 bongs. It's easier to get a bong out here than it is a monster.
And not to mention needles, foil, and anything else you might need to support your crippling drug addiction. It's almost like nonprofits and NGOs are incentivized to help keep these people addicted to drugs rather than guiding them towards rehabilitation and sobriety.
There has to be some weird government thing where the government's making money off this somehow, or like they're like they have a problem with like, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but like the lower form of society, and they're just trying to kill them off. Like if you want to be a drug addict abuser, like just go off yourself in District of Columbia. That way we don't have to deal with you anymore, because it's free to do whatever drugs you want over there.
I've been smoking crack all day.
Oh, shit.
It's not
No, I hear you.
drugs, it's the drug user.
My question though is reduce the harm, keep that person alive. But if there's no emphasis on helping that person detox or get into rehab at some point, if you can get acutely poisoned much faster with something like this, then maybe alcohol is my argument. Government's not going out handing out vodka shots, right?
My
to
generation
alcoholics.
didn't face these problems. I'm
Fentanyl?
56 years old, yeah.
Fentanyl's crazy.
It is. I don't want to go off the deep end on
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
Please do.
The government controls the drug trade and always has. You go back to the East.
Real. The drug trade is only as powerful as the government lets it be.
India trading company and the opium wars. You know, what we did to India and China back in the day,
Yeah,
what
it's
the
terrible.
British Empire did. Why would they ever give up the most valuable commodity on the planet?
Do you think this is the reverse of the opium war?
It's interesting to consider China as the #1 supplier of fentanyl. I don't know that that's true, though.
Does that guy have a
it's good
gun, or is that a
propaganda.
torch that looks like a gun?
Let's make people like me the bad guy. Let's make people like them the bad guy. Let's make the
I
unwanted
see.
middle children the bad guy. Yeah, let's discriminate against them. Junkies, homeless.
Like addicts. Yeah.
They'd rather complain about the shit in the f***ing alley than give us
BRB,
support.
seen a
I get
moment.
your point, right? Why discriminate these people?
Right
Why
back.
stigmatize these people? But it seems questionable to not stigmatize the drug use, right? Why not
Wouldn't
stigmatize
do
the activity
anything.
that's causing people to
Nah,
die?
I
you
mean-
know?
Well, we're supporting the law enforcement agendas by electing these governments and allowing these governments to pursue
Towards-
law enforcement agendas that criminalize drugs. And while doing so, we've created a black market economy that enables terrorists.
What do we have right here? Is this a little boosted market here? No judgment, just curious.
No, stuff that I own
You're selling
and
your
on my
goods.
travels.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because I had to come up with some money to help somebody. She's in big trouble, and I've come up with now $65,
Okay.
and she needs 70.
She's paying off debts, I assume.
You betcha.
How?
Damn, he's doing it for a girl. See, ladies, you can even get a decent man on the crackhead streets of Vancouver. What up, Sweet Brown?
When is that? Because I hear Welfare Wednesday. That's when you get checked in.
Like if you get debts and welfare day, you don't get to pay.
Yeah.
They give you some time, right? And if you pay 1/3 of it or something like she is, I'm helping her. She's gonna get an extension of time, and she can go sell her ass or whatever, to get some
Selling her
money.
body.
Yeah, selling
Yeah.
her body or whatever. Yeah, I told her I'd give it till 8 o'clock.
You know what we're gonna do?
What?
We're gonna make it 70. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
How are the streets these days? What's going on?
A lot of gang running.
That's what we hear. A
Poor
lot
man.
of monsters.
Bro, he's worth... Bro, it's in every level of society.
East Coast gangs.
What up,
come in.
Meave?
I don't know about that. There's ones that's been here for all along, so.
So local gangs is what you're seeing?
How you doing today?
Is it safe out here?
As long as you don't have big debts that you haven't skipped on.
How long have you lived out in the streets, if I may ask?
I live in,
Oh, you SRO?
yeah.
How is the SRO? We've heard a lot of different
I was
thoughts.
in a really crappy one for like 16 years. I hated it. It was very unhealthy, unclean. I'm in a cleaner one now, but it's got other crap. The social issues are a little
Sure.
more of an issue.
The safe injection side doesn't do nothing. They say we want to save these people.
Like harm reduction.
Harm reduction
Yeah, that's the big-
and save their life. They have no life to begin with. I mean, these
Okay.
people are insane.
So you think the government's investing
Yeah, save your life, like the life of sitting on the street and injecting all day.
in people who are too far gone? Is that
They
kind of what you're
need
saying?
a recovery program.
Some
They,
more emphasis on detox, rehab, treatment?
they have to invest on this,
Okay.
and get rid of the safe injection site, whatever you call it.
Or speaking of which, as we speak, this young man is pulling out the torch, and he is going to...
Listen, chat. I read Gordon Ramsay's book, and I don't read many books. Okay, I didn't read all of it, or parts of it. But anyways, because I heard about he had a really interesting section in there about success and how he believed he formed his success. And this is what he said. Gordon Ramsay says he believes in extreme and extreme accountability. That's how he lives his life. He says in his book that if he was on the street at a nightclub and someone walked up to him and shot him in the face, that's his fault. That everything that happens to him in his life is his fault, so he can control it. And basically the premise of that is, why are you at that nightclub? Why aren't you ready to defend yourself? And that just goes through every situation of life. Like, and I take that to like the most extreme. If I don't have enough money, that's my fault. If someone hits my car, that's my fault. And if you just take extreme accountability for everything and it's on you, you can take the control back. And you can really take the reins and destiny of your own life. It's hard to really like comprehend extreme accountability like that. But once you do it, it really is kind of freeing. And I started doing that, and helped me, kick drugs. It helped me do a lot of things, and I overall became a lot better person. And I literally put everything in my own hands. Everything is on my plate, and I'm a man. If I gotta get it, gotta take care of business.
Light some meth, fentanyl, heroin maybe?
Oh, wow. And it's done in the open. But it's
Exactly.
exactly legal in a way,
Yeah, apparently
Yes.
it's been recriminalized though.
Oh, it's all right?
But-
But they still do.
Exactly.
And
just
they
cops
still-
walking by, they don't do anything. So I'm asking folks their thoughts on if the sort of harm reduction is helping or hurting.
It's kind of enabling in a way,
Maybe should I
but
start
at the
doing
same
that?
time, it is it could be run differently. You could
Like, obviously, realistically, if someone shoots you, it's not your fault. But having that mindset going into any situation of any problem, it helps you navigate it and come out on the other side better.
put it that way. It would help if it was done properly.
You said us, do you use anything?
Fentanyl and a little bit of meth here and there. Smoke weed every day though.
How many times have you died?
Smoke weed every day.
That's a hard question, man.
That's a crazy question, but every time I ask it to fentanyl user, they answer two, three.
Thousands, man.
Thousands?
Yeah, not just from dope, from everything in my life, man.
Yeah, what can be done to fix all this? Do you think if someone offered you like, yo, you want to get in detox right now, you take them up on it?
No, because I don't think that Works, man.
Yeah.
You have to be ready. It's your decision. You can't help anybody who doesn't want to
Real.
help themselves, right?
That is
The
real.
housing first approach works. Like getting a house. Have you seen a lot of people overdose in those houses and the SROs they've been given?
I live in the Molson down on Hastings and Main, right in the center of it all. And
Like,
we've had
bro,
a few.
these people are adults who grew up in whatever situation, whatever hand was dealt to them. I understand being addicted to drugs and getting unaddicted, but they think that they deserve a house to do drugs and the drugs provided for them. They're like, oh, when I'm ready to get clean. Like, that's insane, bro. That's insane that our tax dollars pay for that. Why we can... this happens in America, too, just on a different scale. The legalization's a little different. Why our hard-earned... Like, why we can barely afford to make rent, and they're pushing up rent, and they're giving drug addicts free places to stay, and free needles, free foil to shoot up every day, decriminalizing it. But someone who's working 2 or 3 jobs, their rent's getting raised, their bills are going up, their bosses are talking shit to them. And instead of helping those people, hey, let's get the hardworking people free housing or cheaper housing, and they can, spend more money and invest it back into our economy, increase our economy, and increase businesses, local businesses, so they have more money to spend on things that actually give back to society and make money for people and increase the overall net wealth of a community. No, let's give it to where it only drains. Let's give it to people who only drain. Don't give it to anyone productive. Don't give it to anyone hardworking. Don't give it to anyone who deserves it. Only people who don't deserve it.
I mean, in the last 2 years, it's going
It's
to happen
fucking nuts,
anywhere
bro.
the drugs are, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the drug problem is really bad. I think there's always been somewhat of a problem.
World is
but
twisted.
Since 2016, it's
Bro,
become an epidemic.
If you're a hard-working citizen with who don't partake in criminal activities, regularly, and you pay your bills and work hard, the government hates you. They're laughing at you. They're spitting on you, and they're taking every single dime to do whatever the fuck they want with.
And it doesn't seem to be getting
Beat me
much
to
better.
it.
Hopefully it will.
Do you think the harm reduction has helped people get off the drugs out here, or has it kind of worsened the situation?
I don't know, man. 6 to 1, half in the other, right? I'm coming from a city where the harm reduction is...
Like, I'm gonna say something crazy, bro. Like, that's why that guy who killed that healthcare CEO, I would never do that. Don't ever do that to anybody. That's fucked up. But, bro, like, I can't blame him, bro. Like, society, the government, corporations are out of control, and they're shitting on every single American, and we just have to take it. We've all bent over, crawled over on our bellies, put our ass up in the air, all lubed up for the government to put his big, fat, massive dick in and fuck us over and over and over, bro. The government's not doing shit for us. America ain't doing shit for us, bro. It's fucking sad. It's twisted.
Few and far between, and that doesn't help us.
And everyone, and especially like right now, everyone's like licking the goods of the government. They're raising tariffs. They're raising taxes. Things are getting worse, and there's no political party. There's no political party. In horrible pain, and he was also in terrible, horrible pain. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking nuts.
Neither, right? So it's like is there overabundance maybe, but when it comes to like quick access is quick.
I'm not even saying like his situation is right. I'm just saying people getting fed up with the government and these corporations. Businesses and corporations and landlords and the government is taking American people for everything they're worth, and we're taking it, bro. We're taking it up the ass, and we don't give 2 fucks. We're too worried about Republicans and Democrats. Oh my God, who's gonna win? Bro, the government's the government. They don't give a fuck. We're worker drones. Being ran over. A full-time job, though.
Quick access, right? The user's going to use,
Yeah,
right?
it's
No one's getting
insane.
clean or safe unless they want to, right?
Do you know many people who use safe injection sites out here? Are those pretty good? Or
I've worked that one, yeah.
yeah?
Actually,
How was that experience?
Like, listen, chat. And this isn't political. Obviously, like, with the whole election, things could have gone better and been handled better by everybody on both sides. But, like, bro, I'm praying. I'm praying with this, with Trump coming in, and as all his flaws, bro, he's gotta relieve some economic stress. Like, Biden did a lot for like foreign affairs and stuff like that, great foreign policy, but Biden didn't do shit for the economy, bro. Biden and the Democrats ran the economy farther down the drain than I've seen in a long time. Like, they let everybody bleed, and they didn't do anything to stop it. Those stimmies made it worse.
That's good. I find those to be very helpful, especially for the type of drugs that
So
get
as much as I don't like Trump, bro, like I'm just like I'm hoping, bro. If there's a God out there, bro, please, bro.
Yeah.
Heavy sedative type drugs. To have a safe injection site, it's huge for females, I would imagine.
So is this a boosted little setup we have here?
Absolutely not. This is all my personal stuff. I used to do that until it became hard on my heart.
What are your thoughts on the harm reduction out here? Is that working or is it not working?
It's a good thing, actually. I couldn't imagine living, sharing needles and getting by that way.
I would hate that. Okay, first of all, like, okay, I'm so sick of this. It's hard to get needles. Oh my god, do we need to give out needles? First of all, hypodermic needles are not illegal to sell. They're not illegal at all, chat. If you want to go buy some plain hypodermic needles from Tractor Spot, Rural King, they're not illegal to own a hypodermic needle. Alright, listen, you can look right here, bro. Listen, this is a pack of 100. 100 needles, $26. 100 needles, $5. Like, I'm not buying this bullshit, bro. They just want to kill these fuckers faster. The economy just took time to see the effects. We're still feeling them.
How long you been out here in East Hastings?
My whole life. I was born in New West.
I mean, bro, I don't think with how we were confused and the media is with COVID, I don't think anybody could have handled it. Biden, Trump, whoever was in, I think it was just like kind of a fucked situation overall.
This is where I come to sin and
Disneyland of drugs out here, yeah?
Yeah.
Has it always been that way since you've been here?
To different degrees.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
So many mixed signals.
Kind of white.
Mixed messages.
And heroin, and now it's all fentanyl. It's really.
Like, you look at Asian countries right now, they're investing in their hardworking class. They're investing in their middle class. They're investing in community. And they are surging past us in every aspect. Education, military, economy. They're, like, everything. And it's why it's because they're investing in their people. Like, if you're fucking around doing drugs, killing people, RAPing people, like doing all this shit in Asia, bro, they lock your ass up for life. You get your like shit wrecked. You're not welcome in society. Here we're like, okay, let's let this guy who beat his girlfriend and has, you know, sexually assaulted her multiple times in jail for it. Let's let him out and let him go back to her. Let's do that. Oh, our drug users? Let's hook them up. Let's give them the hookup. El Salvador cleaned up. Bro, I mean, every country seems like they're cleaning up. Or at least, not every country, but like, a lot of countries are. And we're doing the opposite, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy for you.
Yeah.
It's really bad for you.
Are you seeing xylazine and trank out here too?
Yeah, crazy and quick. Fuck this
Really
wall.
walk now because of that xylazine.
Does your back hurt? Does not look comfortable.
For me to go 2 or 3 blocks, it takes an hour. It's not fun.
Did you know that this would be the side effect, the back bending? Like, if there's any kid out there who's trying fentanyl, would you recommend they try xylazine or trank?
No, never.
How many times have you died out here?
I've got a weird thing. I'm really immune to drugs.
Okay.
I don't overdose. I've been doing it for 30 years.
What's the biggest drug of choice out here right now? Fentanyl?
Probably fentanyl and coke and speed, and there's crackheads everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my last question is, have you had any friends or family die out here you've seen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The building I live in, every week somebody's bumping off.
Are you in an SRO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hell. I got a drug dealer and a hooker girlfriend, and I live in between the two of them.
If you wanted to get sober in an SRO, would it be close to impossible, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, these SROs are just drug dens, trap houses.
Yeah,
Trap house
close to
mafia.
so many active drug users and drug dealers?
Exactly, yeah. Down here, if you can't get it that way, your doctor will give you the drugs. I can buy my fentanyl right off my doctor.
More people out here using drugs since like 2016, or?
Yeah, a lot less people out here using drugs because a lot of people have died with the fentanyl crisis and all that has gone on. You can OD and die from taking a dragon, where with heroin, that would hardly ever put you down.
By dragon, you mean?
When you smoke like a little bit on tinfoil.
I went to right over there, they gave me some foil and some needles.
Oh yeah. That's like, it's called harm reduction.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's helping the situation or helping more people die eventually?
I don't know. That's the argument, right? It can be looked at either way, and people are dying here. It's escalating, and that's kind of what the dark side of
Hello,
what's going on
times on
here
these
for the
streets.
past couple of years is what's happening. And I
Wait,
don't believe that
in
the
Canada?
police are purposely trying to go out and kill people.
You've been to
but,
Canada?
they're looking the other way while people are dying
You speak
and
from
allowing it to happen.
1984
Friend,
harm
but let me tell you,
reduction.
the thing that people don't know about this area, it's really important my face isn't shown because there's lots of extortion. The women are actually the people that run this street, and they're all very mentally ill, and they're very erratic, and you don't know if you're just going to get clipped off the side of the head when you're just sitting there minding your own business. I got this beaten out of me. It was a couple days before Welfare Day. It was around 8 p.m. I was walking through that tunnel thing over there, and she just beat the living out of me, like my eyes.
For no reason.
Well, she wanted my bag, and she's been harassing me for months and months because she's a lesbian. I don't know what her deal was, and I was black.
Damn,
and
that poor
covered
girl looks like she's leaving that business. There's like
in
crackheads
blood,
everywhere.
and then the cops were sitting right there, and I was running to them, yelling, please help, covered in blood. It stung so bad because the blood and the tears, it really hurts. And the cop was like, well, we're here on something else. I'm like, well, I don't have a phone. I'm broke. Welfare won't pay me for the past 3 months. It's very dangerous. You shoplift and you try to not hurt people as much as you can, right?
As I walk through alleys full of limp corpses.
How y'all doing? Hi.
Little pop-up shops full of stolen goods.
We got a little Chinatown market right here. We got some wares. Take a look at the wares.
And the occasional rat.
Yo, double rat. Damn, you know.
Ratatouille.
You got rats.
You have to wonder how any of this is really compassion. Have we, as a society, just given up on these people and decided that giving them the tools they need to overdose until they finally die is the best option available?
Before I go deeper into East Hastings, in this era, this tool you can stay up to date on news that the mainstream news should integrate marriage in this world while avoiding media bias. As I edited this video, I learned that the Georgian opposition leader has been arrested after accusations of display coverage. If you back to the streets. A little fence.
No free brand deals.
Here. Hopefully not permanently. What are you
Me too.
smoking at? What is it? Vent?
As anyone with an IQ over 80 that's not in denial can realize that the infinite number of bongs available for sale on nearly every corner of East Hastings are being used for mostly anything but weed or tobacco, you understand that East Hastings is a black hole that gives drug addicts everything they need to destroy themselves. And it was clear that the recriminalization of drug use and possession in public did not seem to observably reduce any of it.
All right, boss, who am I here with?
I'm Derek.
How long you been out here?
We've been here in Granville 15, 16 years, something like that.
Has it gotten better or worse since you first got here? Way worse?
Way worse, dude.
How so, boss?
People think it's cool, they steal from their friends, you know, it's pretty bad down here, man.
Yeah. You think it's mostly fentanyl that's caused a lot of problems out here?
I really do, honestly. Honestly.
Not only fentanyl, a lot of lazy parenting too. Spank your kids more often, put them in line. You know, it is what it is.
So I see these bongs everywhere too. Are most people buying the bongs and using it to smoke like fentanyl, heroin, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
What does Tyler have against bongs? Nice
Helping or hurting folks?
50-50, I think enabling people at the same time, you're hurting people at the same time, I think, right?
They save a lot of lives, but, you know, also they hurt a lot of lives too, right?
What's up? Oh, we're just interviewing folks out here. Bad news? Yeah. Like right here or just in general?
In general.
Okay. We're just making sure everyone's cool with it before we roll.
It's your choice, bro.
What do you mean? We're peace-loving guys.
Me too, bro.
Okay, all right, we're chilling though. We're trying to talk about harm reduction and if it's benefiting or hurting folks out here. But I think low-key he's gonna kill us maybe if we keep goofing around here.
No.
Is he chill?
Then he won't do that. He can't do that because I won't let him.
I look across the street, I see Insight right here, right? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think?
It's a great thing. Ever since it's been up, many lives have been saved. I haven't heard of anybody ever OD and pass away in there yet.
Do you think it enables any drug use or is it mostly all good and helps keep people safe when they do OD?
I think it's a bit of both. It is enabling in some it does, right? I came down here when I was 19, and I remember I used to visit my mom down here, seeing all the parties happen and everything, and I saw the parties my mom had and that, and as soon as I was 19, I was only supposed to go to the dentist here. My appointment was in the afternoon, I got here in the morning, and I thought I'd go meet my mom's friends, and I've been here ever since I was 19 and never left. My dad passed away down here. He used to drink them. They tried doing harm reduction for alcohol as well, you know? So, seriously, it has saved lives. I wish there was a lot more that people would understand. You know?
What do you think is misunderstood right now?
That it's saving lives.
Is it too easy to get drugs out here?
The thing is, someone who's been out here for this long, done this much drugs, this lady could be like 50 or 30.
now, or is it you're going to get him somehow? Might as well make it easy and make it safe. What do you think?
It's easy and it's not easy. Down here for 30 years, you know, you've done here 30 years, you earn your respect down here. Back in the day, then people never used to steal off each other down here. Anybody that did that, they were kicked off the block then, but now it's just crazy. But I really want to get clean myself and be down here because I went to school to be addiction counseling. I had 2 exams and 2 rewrites, and I would have my diploma.
She was going to school for addiction therapy.
My mom passed away, and I want to get clean and be down here and help other people.
Have you asked for detox?
Not yet.
You're not ready yet?
I'm pretty close to being.
Yeah.
I used to be standing straight. I'm not anymore. I'm leaned over now.
Yeah. Does that do the trank? Yeah.
And I want, you know, my boyfriend, we want to get married, and then I want to walk down that aisle standing straight, you know?
I mean, I hope you get sober one day if that's what you want, you know? I think I don't want to see you die. You don't want to die out here.
I want to help people.
Yeah. I think your story can inspire a lot of people too.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I believe in you.
I'm glad we saw you today. You know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know. It's a crazy world, right?
It inspired me to.
Yeah.
Inspired me to.
So you're gonna do it? Yeah, I want you to get clean. I want you to get sober. I don't want you to die. And I just met you, but you seem like a sweetheart. You have a safe night, okay? That's okay. All right.
Damn.
Harm reduction.
She's doing research. The sad thing is, like, she probably spent that on drugs.
Theoretically here to help prevent overdoses, save lives, and reduce the spread of disease. I can't help but wonder if in Vancouver's attempt to copy the Portuguese model of handling drug addiction,
like W. Tyler, like, even with the chance of helping her out, maybe inspiring her to go, like, on the off chance she does, like, good for Tyler. I'm glad he did it. It's better to do it than not to do it because they're going to get the drugs one way or the other. Always want me some Tyler.
Reduction is a means to an end.
I
One
love
of many
Tyler.
tools used in an incentive-based approach to help encourage drug addicts to reintegrate into society, get a job, treating their addiction as a health crisis rather than criminal activity. If only there was a highly qualified doctor who has studied this issue for the last 20 years that might have a practical solution to treating Canada's drug epidemic. I want you to tell me about the research you were conducting, how it eventually was ordered to be destroyed,
Paid him
and
not
what
get
you
shot,
found
literally,
throughout
or
that
he
research.
extorted.
That first mentor that I
Basically
mentioned,
robbed.
Bruce Alexander. People who know addiction will likely link his name with some studies that were known as the Rat Park experiments. What Bruce showed in that work, and it had a big influence on me, was that rats living in isolation, given a choice between morphine and chow, tended to consume quite a bit of morphine. But if you took those same rats, even after they became dependent on morphine in isolation, and you moved them into a park-like setting where they're living with other rats and they've got lots of stuff to do, they will switch their preference and instead orient to chow. It's like a natural intervention. Part of what inspired this was when Vietnam veterans had been identified in the 70s as addicted to heroin. The nutshell story is that they returned, and very few of them had ongoing problems with heroin, and very few of them who made that change accessed any form of treatment. Again, it was a result of the environment. And even if they have access to morphine, you expose them literally to better things to do. That's an involuntary type of intervention. What about intervening voluntarily? Could we simply go up to people on the street and say, hey, you're clearly struggling with a bunch of things. I've got some things to offer you. Does any of it sound good? One of the studies that we did along these lines involved offering people choices of housing. Housing in intact buildings where the sort of the social mix was already established. It was people paying rent, going about their lives. And our responsibility was to make sure that our clients who moved in were sufficiently supported so that they would be successful.
How did that play out?
People with clinical backgrounds were some of the most pessimistic, that this is not going to work, people are not going to change, landlords aren't going to rent to you, if they do, they're going to regret it. Again, this is like from people who are supposed to be helping, but we went ahead and did it, and it was successful. We randomly assigned people who had been homeless, it turned out, for about 10 years. We randomly assigned people to receive usual care, which here in BC costs about $55,000 per person per year. Shelters, street outreach support, those kinds of things. Then
say $50,000?
The intervention I described, where they're given choices and responsibilities and support. A third condition was people being housed all together. We had 107 people all living together.
That's so much money.
With a team on site.
That's kind of like the SROs, right?
It's SROs on steroids, though. What if we were to do as we did, shift the incentives, shift the things on the positive side of the ledger that would be incentives for change? So yes, you can move into the this apartment. But if you're going to move into this, you can't be having dealers and other people over to the apartment to use drugs, because that's going to get you in trouble with your neighbors. Over time, they start to think about, well, gosh, returning to work. One of the things that struck me as most poignant was when people would think about reconnecting with their kids. And those kinds of thoughts about my potential future
it's kind of
self.
crazy. A lot of those are like parents and sisters and brothers, and like they just completely abandon their lives, their family, and society to go live on the street and do drugs all day. Like that's actually kind of like bonkers, and they just sit on the side of the street and do drugs all day. Like those are actual people, like, and that's just what they do. Like imagine you and I, like you wake up, use the bathroom, take a shower, go to work, talk to your mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, this, and they just wake up on the street, do drugs all day, and just sit there in one spot, basically. And it sucks.
Are closely related to people's motivation for changing their use of drugs. If people are arrested, brought before a judge, and are not presented with choices, but are instead say, look, you can either go to jail, or you can go through this intensive treatment program. It's going to take about a year, and you must
We'll be watching. This is about the legalization of drugs in Canada and how it's affected Canada in the past couple of years.
Drug-free throughout.
Jelani.
They really need to be separated from drug using and the drug scene urgently and immediately in order to have a good chance of survival.
What did the government do in response to your research, which seems like a solution to a lot of these problems?
This research built up over 20 years. Several investigators
are legalized here. Yep.
A lot of people.
They're not legalized. They're decriminalized. So you can still get fines and get in trouble for it technically in ways. But like they have harm reduction in Canada now, where they give free foil, free needles out to people, and basically like the number of deaths has skyrocketed of overdoses in Canada, skyrocketed 12% in the past 3 years since they've done it. The amount of crime and all this shit, and they're basically just talking about it now. And actually now Canada, it's become such a big problem, especially in Vancouver, they're reversing it. Didn't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure like that law would only really like apply to you if you were doing fentanyl and heroin. So like you wouldn't really like, oh, like did you hear you can go get needles and foil and heroin and fentanyl for free now?
PhD trainees developed their research and adding to this
classy
pool
gentleman.
Of data. And we got to the point of drawing it all together and saying we put together a proposal to begin scaling up effective supports for people in multiple regions of BC and evaluating what we were doing. And we presented that to the government. And what I didn't know when I made this recommendation, this presentation, is that the government had already committed financially to a massive expansion of housing people altogether and providing them with drugs. Because I'm an honest person and I thought I was speaking to people with integrity.
Sure.
I said one of the things we're going to be able to do with this updated information is evaluate some of the public services that have been operating through the COVID years, during which we had expanded this model of congregating people together. 1 week after I made this presentation to deputy ministers, we received a letter from the government ordering us to immediately destroy all of the data and sanitize hard drives. And
20 years of work down the drain.
I mean, massive data holdings covering like about 250,000
What the
people.
fuck?
That would have effectively helped anyone in this situation currently.
Here in BC, our government committed very heavily to a frontier in the use of pharmaceuticals. And this is taking the model of prescribing drugs and decoupling it from any kind of a long-term program or plan that's designed to help people.
Has that always
socially
been a thing
reintegrate.
like
We've
you've
gone
known
so far
about,
as
or
to
just
provide drugs to people from a vending machine
my old
type
job
of device right here.
I saw that.
That's crazy.
We've gone so far as to provide drugs to people from
That's crazy, bro.
a vending machine type of device right here.
I saw that.
Yeah, I heard about that. Literally, in some places in Canada, you can get heroin from a vending machine. Isn't that crazy?
Wrote about this as the beginning of a kind of a global revolution. So far, the results are, as predicted, terrible. If all you do is provide someone who's homeless, struggling psychologically, unemployed, estranged painfully from their families with an alternative source of medication, we call that treatment. It's never going to achieve any kind of meaningful change. The Portuguese were already all on top of this, and because they built out the system prior to enacting their decriminalization mitigation step. They were able to engage people through dissuasion commissions in robust forms of support that got them out of the settings where they were living in strife and at risk because of how they went about it.
Bro, I mean, it might be fun to go visit for a night. Shit, Alan.
They did not need to introduce a single drug consumption site. If what
Do
you're
some
chiefly
booskies.
concerned about is reducing the transmission of diseases, then a consumption site will help achieve that. But that's pretty much all it's going to achieve.
And here's what they look like inside.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'll get mine.
Yep, you want to come in?
Yeah, they're from Canada. They said, sorry, I'm sorry about that, mate. I'm sorry about that, eh?
I don't know if I feel fully comfortable, but...
Have you been here before?
No.
Okay, what's your handle? What do you call yourself?
Tyler.
Tyler,
Yeah.
come on in, Tyler.
Okay.
Okay, you
All
can
right.
come take a booth. This is your first time.
Okay.
We do not let people do this, okay?
Okay.
Because you're not allowed to let the people who are privately doing something. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then you gotta go.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Okay.
I
thought
Unless he wants to take a picture. No, he just wanted to have a look.
Okay.
So we don't do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But you're welcome to stay and take a table if you want. We have a table
Okay.
open if you feel comfortable.
All right. Okay.
Come on
Thank
back.
you. Okay.
I think harm reduction is an incredibly powerful.
So people are in there just getting lit as fuck. No, for real, Turk.
Powerful and essential component of how we structure our system, how we engage people.
Damn.
Recognize that harm reduction as a bottom-up, interpersonal way of helping people is an essential
That's
practice.
crazy. Wow. That's where your Canadian dollars are going, Jelani, when you pay taxes. Little houses like that ran by the government employees saying, all right, come in and get high as fuck. Come inject that fit in here. Come get an injection.
But it's got to lead to the
Not
ultimate
film,
goal of
exactly.
wellness. It's become linked with crazy
Don't
stuff like
remind me.
drug use. It's not an addiction.
Sure.
We need to defend people's bodies.
Listen. We only have one harm reduction site left in the United States, and it's in fucking Portland, Oregon. Fuck that place.
Autonomy.
Sure.
They did it in San Diego or San Francisco. I remember they reversed it. They've reversed it pretty much everywhere in the United States, but except for Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon still is decriminalized hard drugs and harm reduction centers and usage centers. Isn't that insane? Fuck Oregon. Fuck that stupid ass state, bro. They're not liberal. They're not Republican. They're straight like communist pieces of shit.
Rather than a means to an end, it became the end in and of itself.
Listen, if you're gonna do drugs, at least work hard. Get your own money to do the drugs. Don't use my tax dollars to get the drugs. Oregon, yeah.
Became an end in itself,
State.
and people became protective of that. Then you get this kind of opportunity for
Here.
predation.
Okay.
So this is economic.
Like, bros are getting high off my dollars, bro. But
predation.
Tell me about some of these bad actors.
But they're only bad actors if
I do fuck with America because I remember, especially after COVID, they were decriminalized. You could decriminalize, and even with the Dems in office, they're like, okay, shit, let's recriminalize this shit because it's getting out of control. Like, what's it place? Kingston in Pennsylvania was becoming insane. Basically, our government came in and they decriminalized that area and it turned into a drug zone, an open drug market, that injection centers, all that shit. They came in, cleared it out. They found almost like, I think it was like upwards of $10 million worth of pharmaceutical drugs on the people in that city. Isn't that crazy? Like fentanyl, heroin, that was provided to them, not from a drug dealer, provided by the fucking government. Needles, foils, bongs. My gosh, yeah. Government funded.
you have a critical
That we watched that. Remember that the reason I know that was from a Tyler video too.
view of capitalism.
In what sense do you say that?
Well, for instance, if you and I are running a global pharmaceutical company,
It was
and
in
we
the
look
millions,
around,
bro.
U.S. and other countries, and we see that there are these mandatory disclosure laws, Sunshine Act, and things like that about if we were to pay doctors to do things. But if we look up in Canada, we don't have laws like that.
Okay.
It's voluntary. When we have people who are currently in crisis as we do now, we need to fast track everything that we know we can do to enable social reintegration and connecting people with lives that inherently matter to them, are inherently valuable. We're already committed to a model that we know is not performing well. It's not only the scientific evidence, it's the evidence in our communities.
Sure. Go for a walk.
Go for a walk.
Yeah.
It's clearly not working, right? Let's have the courage to admit that we've made some mistakes. And let's have the courage to shift our direction.
Yeah, no, that's just crazy.